This video is for my Algebra Half students. We're going to be doing lesson 79 today, implied ratios. Your homework is written up here on the board. I'll also put it on the website. Numbers 1 through 12, 17 through 22, and you can skip number 7. And by the way, any of those problems where they say draw a diagram, I do not require you to draw a diagram. And the ones where they have the kind of the goofy diagram drawn there, that's like number 7. You can skip that. Excuse me. Before we get into the examples of the homework, I want to tell you something about myself. This will help. My favorite cake that I bake at home, my mom baked it ever since I was a kid. It's called a wacky cake. And it uses 3 cups of flour in the cake. Every time we make that cake, we use 3 cups of flour. So 3 cups of flour will give me 1 cake. If I want, 4 cakes, how much flour am I going to need? Well, I'm going to need 3 cups in each of those 4 cakes. That's 3 times 4, that's 12. This is a ratio. And this is very commonly used to find information. It's very important. We often write ratios up as fractions. 3 cups of flour will give me 1 cake. 12 cups of flour will give me 4 cakes. And these are equal fractions, meaning you can cross multiply and they will equal the same thing. 1 times 12 equals 3 times 4. And that's important because if we know that, they can ask us a question and we can go find out what they want. Just a second ago, I said, how much is it going to take me to make 4 cakes? You were probably able to do that in your head, but if you weren't, we could have cross-multiplied to find out the answer. So we're going to be doing this same thing in the examples in this lesson. We're going to do the second example first, bottom of page 222. 79.2 says it took 3 tons of fertilizer to fertilize 170 acres. You don't have to do what I'm going to do here, but I like to do this. F for fertilizer, A for acre. How much fertilizer? 3 tons. Now I'm not going to write 3 times 2,000. I'm just going to write 3. And that will do 170 acres. The question is, Farmer Brown wants to fertilize 1,870 acres. Now 1,870 is going to go right here beside this 170. And it says, how much fertilizer will he need? These 2 ratios are going to be equal. By the way, when you have one fraction equal another fraction, that's called a proportion. It says that at the top of the lesson, and I think we've talked about that in class too. I can now cross-multiply to find that missing amount, how much fertilizer that is. If this were something easy, if it said 3 acres, 170, how much to make 1,700 acres? How much fertilizer would you need? That would be real easy. I'd go, all I have to do to get from 1,700 to 1,000, to get from 170 to 1,700, all I have to do is multiply by 10. So the 3 gets multiplied by 10. This is 30. That's called a scale factor. That was easy to do. This one isn't so easy. What do you multiply by 170 to get 1,870? Some of you might be able to do that in your head. It happens to be, the scale factor is times 11. Times 11. The answer is going to be 33. But let's assume you couldn't do it in your head. So we're going to cross multiply. And I showed this on that cross multiplication sheet. Those 2 numbers get multiplied. 170 times F. And these 2 numbers get multiplied. 3 times 1,870. And as I said on that sheet, don't be in a rush. Don't go multiply that out. Don't. There's a good reason. Trying to get this f by itself, what do? I divide by 170, and I divide by 170. Now, you may not see it, but if you have a calculator, if you didn't have a calculator, somebody might go, oh, these zeros cross out. Yes, they do. And 17 does go into 187 11 times. If you didn't know that, you could just crunch the numbers, and it would give you 33. Or I could go like that. Oh, that gives me 11, and it's going to take 33 tons of fertilizer. An answer that we already knew up there because some of us did it in our head. Okay? Let's go to the first example, 79-1. I chose to do it second because it has a mixed number in it. I don't like that, but that's okay. It says it took 2.5 eggs. First of all, how do you get 2.5 eggs? I don't know. 2.5 eggs to make 140 cookies. So, 2.5 eggs. How many cookies? 140. My sister just walked in. Hi, Lori. Hi, Matt. And my brother-in-law.
Hi.
Say hello to my students.
How you doing?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. Good enough. Okay. Hey, this is easy. We could, not hey you, hey them. Sorry. By the way, if we multiplied this by 2, 5 eggs would make 340 cookies, wouldn't it? I like that ratio much better than this 2.5 times 170. In fact, I'm going to use it in this problem. The question says, oh, you know what? I'm mixing them up. It was 140. I was looking at the Farmer Brown question. 140. And this would be 280. Just like in class, huh, where I make my mistakes. Okay? 2.5 eggs will make 140 cookies. Double them both. That means that 5 eggs will make 280. Let's use that ratio. And they say, okay, Jenny wants to make 1,680 cookies. That 1,680 goes right there. How many eggs will she need? I can say 5 over 280 equals E over 1,680. Or I could do like the book and do 2.5 over 140 equals E over 1,680. But I don't like dealing with that mixed number, so let's just stick with this. Okay, let's cross multiply. 280 times E equals 5 times 1,680. Getting E by itself. 280. 280. Those cancel. And I am going to use a calculator on this. I'm going to cross out these zeros first. If I wanted to, I could reduce. I could say 168 and 28 are both divisible by 2. They might be divisible by 2 again, and 2 again, and 2 again. But let's go ahead and just use a calculator. 5 times 168 divided by 28 equals, and this tells me I need 30 eggs. By the way, if I had reduced, if I had done 168 divided by 28, it would have given me 6. 5 times 6 is 30. So what you're doing each time is you're setting up the ratio as it's given to you. The way to, we're going to do the practice together. It says the baker set found that it took 4 huge whatever it says, 4 to make 13 confections. That means sweets. And it was sugar. Sugar to confection. 4 sugars to every 13 confections. he needed to make 143 confections. How much sugar did he need? Again, some of you might be able to do the scale factor there. What do you multiply by 13? You get 143. Again, just like in this one over here, or wherever it was, it's times 11. 4 times 11, the answer is going to be 44. If you didn't know that, you would cross multiply. And you get 13s, 13 times s, equals 4 times 143. Divide by 13. Divide by 13. 13 goes into 143 11 times. If you didn't know that, you could certainly use a calculator. There you go. Let me know if you have problems. Some of you need to start turning in homework. Bye, guys.